The session.
You know you peep that lady.
You know I could set it off, but I'd rather use my heart when I put my faith in God. Nothing bothers me at all.
I don't think you get celebrated enough. You should be celebrated for every aspect of your growth and your growing pains.
Hello beautiful people, this is your Nosy and welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great and I hope life is treating you well. If you're new here, hi, I'm your Nosy. Your Yebe means your girl in a Zimbabwean colloquial language, so it is your girl Nosy, but you guys can call me Nosy. So hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well and welcome to this beautiful series I'd like to call Fashion Forward, where we speak about people in the fashion industry who are just doing amazing things in the fashion industry, and we're just here to talk about them and learn about their journey and etc. So if you're interested in all of that, click the subscribe button, okay? So today we're going to be talking about Sindiso Khumalo, who is a South African woman. Actually, no, wait. I'm gonna explain that because some articles are saying, we're gonna get into it, right? But we're gonna be talking about Sindiso Khumalo. I am going to start with a quote from her in this article from the Not Just So Label magazine or website. Let's read it. I believe fashion can become an empowering agent by creating positive economic activities in otherwise marginalized parts of the world. Sindiso Khumalo is an LVMH finalist and is also a sustainable textile designer based in Cape Town. If you don't know what LVMH means, it is basically a highly recognized award that you can get as a designer. It can really open a lot of doors for you, and yeah, all you have to do is enter the competition and then boom, doors open if you do very well. LVMH basically means Louis Vuitton, and if you want more information on this award or this competition, I do have a link down below explaining all of those details, and I'm also going to get into detail about the LVMH award when I speak about Kenneth Easier. She collaborates with many NGOs, and in 2013 she actually collaborated with a great team in Durban. They actually create a lot of textiles, but I believe right now she is based in Cape Town and her clothes are made there.
Reason.
Biggest inspirations is my heritage. I'm Zulu and Ndebele, and so there's a lot of visual referencing for me with both of those cultures that I use a lot in my work.
In one of her Vogue articles, Khumalo explains how she sees her work as a healing agent that allows people who have been previously marginalized in society to have an opportunity to share in their stories. She also explains how her work is all about creating a space for women to gather, make, and heal. This is Sindiso Khumalo. She started gaining an interest in fashion when she was 10 years old, and that was around the time when her mom actually bought her a kiddie's sewing machine, and after that she's always just been interested in fashion. She studied architecture in Cape Town. This was her first degree. After graduating, she then moved to London and she started working for a designer called David. I'm going to put his surname here and his name on the screen because I don't want to mess it up. Oh, no. He's not a designer. He's actually an architect. Yeah, she started to work for an architect. After that, she then studied her master's in future textiles in St Martins, which is in London. I mean textile futures, not future textiles. It just sounds better as future textiles, or it's just me. But anyways, textile futures in St Martins in London. Graduating with a distinction in her final project. Yes, ma'am. So I'm sure you're a bit confused. She's in fashion, but she studied, architecture. Yes, she did, right? As much as, yes, she was studying architecture, she's always been interested in fashion more than architecture. So yeah, Her experience in architecture really does help her with the different materials, understanding different materials and understanding different designs, which you can actually see in her fashion designs, in her collections, in her label. You can actually see the architecture in her come out. In 2012 October, she actually showcased her collection in Elle Magazine Rising Star competition. She is inspired by the 1970s and the 1920s. Her mother kept a lot of clothes from the 1970s, so this is where her inspiration comes from when it comes to the 70s vibe. But she is also inspired by her heritage.
What drew me into fashion is I've always been interested in creativity and the arts, and I sort of found that using graphics and textiles was sort of the angle I wanted to push fashion in. So it's more sort of a creative outlet, fashion, for me. I'm based in Hackney, East London, and I am South African. I grew up in Durban, and I've been in the fashion industry for about, I'd say about 10 years now. My work is a combination of textile garments for women's wear. It's luxury textile garments, so they're all sort of beautiful silks and linens with quite graphic, bold prints. One of my biggest inspirations is my heritage. I'm Zulu and Ndebele, and so there's a lot of visual referencing for me with both of those cultures that I use a lot in my work, and on Ndebele walls, and sort of bringing those into a textile and a garment. So I'd say definitely my African heritage is a big influence, but also I'm very much influenced by where I live. I live in London, which is a huge melting pot of culture, and it's a huge inspiration just watching what people wear, how people put things together and stuff. So yeah, London's a huge inspiration too. In my designs, I try to achieve producing garments that have very bespoke nature to them, really bright, really colorful, but also something that's wearable to an everyday user. So I do a lot of separates, and so because I feel like, you know, women live on separates and stuff, and so making wearable, beautiful garments that are made well. Also, I think there's almost this impression that if it's made in Africa, it might be kind of a bit sort of shoddy, and I try and make sure everything's made really well, so with real attention to detail with the making. My aesthetic is defined by my experiences. I studied architecture as my first degree, and I feel like a lot of the ideas within architecture, sort of thinking about planes and lines and space, I think architecture really does helps to define my aesthetic and helps me think about principles within architecture. So there are different movements like the Bauhaus movement, and I'm very much drawn to how they used color and line within their work, and sort of try and bring that into my textiles.
Her mother was actually a political activist who fought against the apartheid regime, and her mom also did, and her grandmother also did the same thing. By the way, if you don't know where apartheid happened, it happened in South Africa. So I'm just gonna read this part from her interview with Vogue, and I actually found this super interesting, and this is what it says, right? Right now, she's moved by the activist Charlotte Maxeke. I hope I said it properly. If I did not, I'm so sorry for that, okay? Who became the first Black South African woman to earn a bachelor's degree in 1901. Sarah Forbes Bonetta, the 19th century African princess who was on the verge of being sold into a life of slavery when a twist of fate changed her path and she became Queen Victoria's godchild, has also figured on her mood board of late. In her Future by Vogue, she also says, my closet is an archive of their amazing designs, which they made as a way of escaping the realities of South Africa during that time. I'm just gonna read the artists from my script here. Some of her favorite African artists are Yinka Shonibare, Nandipa Mtambo, and Dineo Seshi Bobape, and writers Ho Soyinka and Chimunande Ngozi Adichie. She launched her brand in 2014. After that, she had a son and decided to pause on everything, and then she relaunched in 2017. Now she has 2 kids, by the way. She then worked with the United Nations Ethical Fashion Initiative, which allowed her to actually meet other designers, other African designers, and network. Right now, she is partnered with a local NGO in Cape Town called Embrace Dignity, which helps women get off the street and then guide them to having long-term careers, which is super, super beautiful. I love that. It's very empowering, to be honest. All of the garments are made using sustainable, natural materials such as hemp, linen, and African cotton. So I'm gonna read from my script, obviously, about her 2 main ambitions, because I don't want to mess this thing up, right? So her 2 main ambitions as a designer are: 1, build a global stock list and have her products distributed to a big global audience. The second one is about empowerment. She wants to empower many people in the fashion industry to get jobs. As we know, South Africa has a disappointing unemployment rate at the moment, so we need as many entrepreneurs and investors here to change the direction of the country. She says in her article from Citizen, "I think there's a lot of hype when you are a designer. I'm grateful for all the amazing opportunities I've had to be featured in Vogue, go to Milan, go to Dubai with Vogue Italia. But the most important thing is to create a sustainable, viable business so you can create real change in the world and make your voice heard for whatever passions your passions are. I think you can create a real change through a business with a proper business model. So I would advise young people, but when looking at designers, to ask themselves, do they have a sustainable business? What can I learn from them and their business model? What's missing in the market?" Ask those sort of questions, because publicity comes and goes, but the business is what keeps your craft alive, which is such an important advice, honestly. That is so true. Sometimes we get ahead with our creativity or the publicity, but your business still has to go on, you know?
My name is Sindiso. I'm a textile designer. Was based in London until 2 days ago. Now I'm going to be based in Cape Town. So this is a combination of a return to home in many ways. So my approach to design really comes from my architectural training. I try to look at materials first before doing any process. And I feel like as design practitioners, we have so many opportunities to make change within our supply chain that can really empower people that we work with. And so what I try to do with my work is have an approach which really starts from the basic material. So it's like the cotton, the basic material, and through my entire supply chain, how can I empower people and make, mainly women I work with women's lives better, so that hopefully it won't be just me going to St Martins, but other young children of Africa going to St Martins at some point.
So you show them some of your work?
Yes. So what are we showing them? The video first. Oh yeah, so this is just an idea. This is just kind of stuff that I do.
I'll suggest you guys actually watch this video from Creative Mornings HQ. Please go check out the YouTube channel. There's an interview there, and they're speaking to Sindiso Khumalo. It is an amazing interview. I find it very interesting. I'm going to finish it after I'm done editing this video. But yo, please go watch it. It's interesting. It's just go watch it, okay? I think what we can learn here is that you can be interested in 2 things at once. You can be a multi-passionate person. So what I love about her is that she was she studied architecture, but she was really interested in fashion, and she's embraced both industries together. So yeah, I think it's very interesting that you can be into 2 things at once. A lot of people always think that, oh, if you're in accounting or finance, you need to stick to that instead of being creative and stuff. But it's just why are we sticking to one thing? Why can't we be dynamic? As human beings, we are dynamic naturally already. We can experience 2 emotions at once, both joy and grief at once. If you know, you know. I love the fact that she actually brings the importance of, sustainability in your brand. And I actually speak about this on my podcast, Your Power, Your Purpose. If you don't know about it, please go check it out. In my specific episode, I actually speak about it. It's called Is Growing Your Social Media Audience an Effective Tool to Grow Your Brand? Business Fridays. So please go check that out if you want to know more about sustainability and what I have to say about it. In any case, amazing. Like, I really love the fact that she brought the business part of it, the business part in fashion and designing and being creative. You need to know business. But anyways, let's speak a little bit about sustainability, right? I know it's quite deep, but like, you know, everything that you do affects another person's life, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's not affecting another person, it truly is. If you get accepted for a job, somebody was rejected, you know, somebody was rejected from that job. Like, that's just the truth. You got accepted, you're excited, but someone is disappointed in the world because they didn't get accepted, right? It's just life. It's just the way things go. So we're very influential human beings. We do affect one another completely. Like, the decisions I make right now about my job, my career, everything that I do right now is obviously going to affect my future kids, you know, one day, or it's going to affect my brother or my sister or whoever is in my life. It's going to affect them somehow. It's just how life goes. The whole story is a reminder of, you know, do something with meaning. Like, do something with meaning. The world will catch up. Like, seriously, the world will catch up. Do something with meaning. Do something that's close to your heart. It's okay if it's close to your heart. It's okay. And it's also okay to do something that's not close to your heart just to, you know, gain a bit more money. That's okay. That's completely fine. But also have something going on for yourself that actually truly means something to you as a person. And bring the business aspect to it. Because, I mean, life is life, y'all. Like, you have to make sure, like what she says, if you want to, I mean, publicity will come and go, but you really need to understand the business behind everything that you do, behind your craft, because that's what's going to keep your craft alive. I love that. I love the fact that she brought that up, because sometimes we honestly forget, oh, I'm so creative, and you broke. You just have an expensive hobby now. Like, that's just what it is. And you're not making money out of your art, out of your creativity, out of the videos you're doing or whatever. Think about the money aspect. Think about the business of it, because, I mean, girl, you need to eat, okay? You need to do something. So I'm just going to read, a quote from her from this Vogue article, and it says, as Khumalo explains, she sees her work as a healing agent that allows people who have been previously marginalized in society to have an opportunity to share in their stories. Her multi-pronged, hands-on approach, working in a atelier style with artisans around the continent, is about creating a space for women to gather, make, and heal. Beautiful. If I mispronounced some word there, I think I did. I'm so sorry, but I'll just like, this is beautiful. You know, what she does is empower women to do more, get jobs. She's partnered with NGOs. What more can we say? What more can we say? Sindiso Khumalo is amazing. She's an inspiration, and she's doing amazing work in the fashion industry. And I think all of us can look up to her and like just be inspired by what she is doing and how she is changing the country, how she's trying to create jobs for women, trying to create a space for women to gather, heal. Like, what did you say? To gather, make, and heal. Creating a space for women to gather, make, and heal. That's beautiful. Amazing. I love that. And yeah, that is, I can't even, like, I feel like I need more. I feel like my heart is just so warm right now, just speaking about her and what she is doing. I feel like I need to do more with my life. I need to say something more to just push this on. Like, guys, what she's doing right now is real empowerment. Going on social media and saying, this is what's happening, blah, 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 this is what's happening. It's not going to change anything, really. It's just bringing attention to something and then people get over it. But what she's doing right here is real change. Real change. Sustainable change. You know? I know we live in a generation where it's all about, boom, social media, here's a trend. We're activists on social media, blah, blah, blah. But are you an activist in real life? Are you really doing something in real life without social media? Are you actually doing something that is impactful, that is changing the country, that is changing your community? You know, that's the question, right? And I'm questioning myself with that. Like, you know, sometimes we get so I guess pressured to do something on social media, but do something in real life. Do something that will affect or impact another person in the long term. And that's what she's doing. She's creating a space for women to make, gather, and heal. That's beautiful. You know, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done in South Africa. I believe so, especially in the Black community, you know, because I'm Black and stuff. And amongst Black people and white people, there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. So I love that. I love what she's doing. I love her work. She is so amazing. And this is, I love it. I love it so much. In any case, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely did. It was, I'm saying it was amazing as if I'm watching it, but honestly, reading about her, researching about her, I loved it so much. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and please comment down below what you think and how this video has touched you in any way.